Hello everyone, I am Kalliopi and today I'm gonna show you how to create step by step a watercolor Misty Ocean Sea painting. I will be using Artie's cold press paper that I cut in an A5 size and my custom watercolor palette, which I have a full video on how I made it, so I will leave it up here in case you're interested. This palette includes the Mijello watercolors, Van Gogh and Arteza, and as soon as I opened it I realized that I had dropped this a few days back, and if any of you have watched my palette video, then we all saw this coming. All the Arteza watercolors that were already too dry and cracky fell out and broke immediately, so everything was just a mess, little pieces everywhere, so I just had to remove everything, which wasn't hard at all. I just held it upside down and everything fell apart. So I believe the question is answered. If any of you out there have the Arteza watercolors, please keep them in the tubes and do not add them in a palette. They do not dry well, they will crack and fall out. So now everything was clean and I only have the Mijello and the Van Gogh brands that they still seem perfect. For this painting I will be using only these three colors. The first thing that you have to do for this type of paintings is, first of all, wet your whole page. Add a small amount of water in your brush and spread it out throughout the paper so you have a thin layer of water. And you need to do this in order to use the wet on wet technique. So now that we're going to spread the first layer of color, the watercolor can fade in and feather on the paper without creating any harsh lines or spots, which is the best way to create the misty effect. Also, as you see, I'm keeping the color very light and transparent since this will be the sky and we do not want it to be too dark. If you feel like you have made it too dark, you can easily just tap it out with a piece of cloth or paper and then use a clean brush to blend the spot you removed. Now we need to place the horizon about 1/3 of the paper and make it a bit darker because that's where the ocean will meet the sky, and then leave it as it is because we're going to work on it later on. After mixing an almost black color with the indigo blue and the black, we will start creating the waves. Now this is a very important step and you may think it is too complicated, but hear me out. First of all, you should not think about painting waves, since if you look closer, everything is a bit abstract and just shapes, and the best way I can describe it is like painting mountains. I mean, if you look closely, the shapes are just like mountain tops. They are a bit triangle with curves, and then they also have the valley, which are the small lines on their left or right side. So for me, it was like painting a scenery with mountains and a valley in front of them. I don't know if you see it too, but I hope that helps you out. Also, I started out by adding the darker parts first, because this will help me set the values, and also after you actually put down the darker part, which is the main wave form, then I shade and paint around them, and generally then these darker parts can work as a guidance where to keep your light parts or create your mid values. For this type of paintings, once again, you have to be patient and create many layers. You don't have to rush anything, do small movements, and because with watercolors you cannot go back and your whitest part is the white of the paper, If you're not sure about something, just keep building it slowly. Here I start another dark spot, and it is a great example of why I think this is like painting mountains. I mean, this looks exactly like a mountain. And then I add the blue mid-tones around it, and just like that, it is a wave now. Also keep in mind that the closer the waves are to us, the bigger they are, so as we move backwards, going closer to the horizon, the waves will be smaller and smaller. And actually we will start using less black or dark colors because this will help with the depth and the dimension of the painting. So now, once again, I am wetting the horizon part because this will play a huge role into giving the effect of the misty ocean and how our eyes lose focus as we look further and further into the horizon and to the sky. I keep trying to darken the horizon by adding more color, but always remember to keep it wet so it can feather out and fade. Another great tip for paintings like this is whenever you are wetting your page, you should probably wet the whole page so you can be completely sure that there will be no harsh lines of your brush strokes. But also be careful to use a clean wet brush in the areas that you don't want to add any more color or make darker. Now you see me do exactly the same as I did before, but in a smaller scale because, as I said, the more we go closer to the horizon, the smaller our waves will be. And now it is just about adding details and going over and over again, fixing any areas you might think will need something a little bit more, giving back some saturation to the painting with a blue color. And now it is just a matter of patience of doing all these steps again and again until you're satisfied. But always remember to keep your horizon faded and wet and slightly faded out on the corners for the misty ocean look. Now that I am done with the most part of the painting, it is about time to start adding the details. I grabbed my white gel Uniball pen and added the tiniest little dots and lines as the wave highlights, but I still felt like something was missing. I wanted something subtle, but something that will also give it a little bit something extra unique and special, and for me, gold details always do the part. So I used my dip pen and my Winsor & Newton gold ink. and once again created small lines as the highlights of the waves, and I truly believe that this was the best choice I made, because when you look at the painting on the top you cannot see the sparkles, so I kept the moody misty vibes, but when you move it around then you can see the sparkle, and I just love it. I am so happy how this painting turned out, and I'm also happy to let you know that this original painting will be up on my Etsy shop for any of you out there who would like to give this little painting a home. Yeah, it just makes me so happy to know that you guys can have an actual piece of art made by me, so thank you all of you for buying through my Etsy shop and supporting my work and truly giving me the opportunity to chase my dreams. So I really hope I inspired you or helped you out with this tutorial, so if you recreate it, please be sure to let me know. You can find me on my Instagram account at Kalliopi Lyviaki, where you can message me and show me what you have created. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like so I can then create more like these ones. And also make sure to subscribe to get notified for everything else I am uploading. Until next time, stay safe and have a super duper day. Bye!